Hello, world. Welcome to Pardon the Politics podcast, season 2, episode 44. I am your co host, Jeezy, along with my brother and my partner in politics, Manny. My brother, how are you doing today?
Brother, I am glad to be on this side of the ground.
Mm, brother, let me tell you, I'd rather be 6 feet above than 6 feet below, brother.
Bro, as the old folks might say, good to be seen and not viewed.
Bruh, and not viewed. Bruh. I told
It,
somebody that the day at work, man. I went in and they were like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, look, it's better to be seen and not viewed." They were like, "What?"
See, my go-to in the office is I'm still vertical. When somebody asks me how I'm doing, I'm still vertical and above room temperature.
Bruh.
You need both of those things to keep things going.
That is quite true, brother. That is quite true. Well, I want to welcome our listeners. Welcome to another episode of Pardon the Politics. We are so happy to bring forth another episode in this crazy and chaotic political scene that we are forced to live in a timeline that I don't think any of us asked.
I didn't ask
at
to be
all
on
to
this
be here.
timeline. I need Doctor Strange and company to go find the Tesseract and go reset this timeline because I ain't asked to be here.
Look, the new Avengers movie is supposed to be coming out in a year, and Avengers Doomsday, I believe it's called. Can they just reset the timeline?
Please.
Bro, how crazy on the timeline in this whole movie of Marvel if President Trump made a cameo like he did in Home Alone?
It's right there.
This is like Marvel throwing a little political dig out there.
The funniest thing about that is, so we were going through, we're doing our Christmas movie every day. So we were watching Home Alone, and when he came up there, I paused it, and I was just like, this man really became the president. That man.
Who would have ever thought, bro?
Who would have thought? Not me.
But hey.
Here we are.
And here we are. Welcome to the ride, bro. Well, certainly before we jump into our topics that we have on this episode, I wouldn't want to go any further on this episode without first offering our thoughts, our prayers, our condolences to the recent tragedies that have taken place over the past couple of days. The first one is if you've seen it on social media, which again made me think that it's in this climate, in this day and age, that we can see so much happen and just have so much access to just footage of things taking place and tragedies that happen. Kind of brought back some of the same type of vibes from what happened with Charlie Kirk. But if you've seen on social media, there was a situation where there was a shooting in Bondi at Bondi Beach, which is in Sydney, Australia. And there was a mass shooting. And the terrible thing about this is that this took place during a Hanukkah celebration.
Yeah.
And it claimed the lives of, I believe the last number I looked, 15. Yeah, 15 innocent people, and there were dozens that were injured.
And one of the 15 that was killed was a Holocaust survivor.
Yes, some of those that were of those that were killed were a 10-year-old girl, a Holocaust survivor, a French national, and a rabbi. Amongst those that lost their life in what has been described as a anti-Semitic terrorist attack. So just want to give our condolences to those that have been impacted, affected both directly and indirectly. Terrible, terrible tragedy. Anytime anybody innocent loses their lives to something of this magnitude is certainly a tragedy, and just taken aback. But just for it to be the start of Hanukkah, for those that are observing the holiday and the faith of that, it's terrible, man. And hate to see something like that happen.
But definitely big ups to Ahmed Al-Ahmed. I hope I'm saying his name correctly.
He was like a fruit stand worker or something like that.
Who just kind of like bossed up on the shooter and took his gun.
Hey man, the courage of that guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, sir. I believe the last thing I saw, he had sustained some injuries and was
Yep.
recovering in the hospital, but should make a full recovery. The courage of you to put your life in on the line, and in the midst of this situation to save those. We cannot put a number on how the act and the heroics of this gentleman, how many lives he saved.
Yeah.
While we do not certainly diminish the 15 that and those that lost their lives and the ones that were injured, certainly the numbers
15
of
could have
this
been 20, 25, 30.
150. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't know how many people were observing this event at the start of Hanukkah, but certainly the heroics of this man certainly saved a number of lives, and that can't go unnoticed as well either. And secondly, actually the day before the Bondi Beach incident happened, there was a shooting on Brown University, and which is during final week, final exam week, where two students were left dead and nine others were wounded. Of those victims, one was a sophomore and the vice president of the university's college Republicans club, and another was an aspiring neurosurgeon. Both individuals have been described by their classmates as individuals with very bright futures. So another tragedy just happening, and one thing that just kind of pricks my heart about these two situations is just it being around the holidays, where generally, family is together, enjoying, making memories, having those moments. And there are a number of families, not just here in the United States, but in Australia as well, that are losing out on that this year. And that's a tragedy. And if you've ever lost somebody around a holiday, you can certainly imagine
It's rough.
the devastation and just how rough picking those pieces up when you have to without a loved one. So certainly want to give our thoughts and prayers and condolences to those that have been impacted, both directly and indirectly.
And then I think the crazy thing about the Brown shooting is that they still don't have anybody.
Yeah. I
They're
think they're still
still
trying to
searching.
locate
Yeah.
this individual. So that is, that's just a tragedy all within itself as well. Hopefully they are able to catch this individual. I know that I believe as the last time I looked, there was some photograph maybe
Yeah.
kind of starting to stir around to maybe help with some tips or just get them some type of leads they need. But certainly this individual still is at large. So
And it
hopefully
does
safety, because
appear.
they still have to go, and this is, I don't know if the university has come out with anything, but I don't know if exams have been canceled, or because even if it's final exam week, we all know after
Right.
final exam week it's college graduation. So like, how do you even have all this kind of go on in the midst of the shooting happening at the university and the shooter
Right.
still being at large?
Look, I remember Gunbrella Man from ECU.
Oh, bruh.
Now, I wasn't there. I was in Raleigh.
Shut the whole city down,
The
bruh.
entire thing.
Hey, yo,
Now-
first of all, hold on before you keep going. To the gentleman that was accused of having a gun on ECU's campus, but it really was an umbrella in your book bag. If you would like to come on the pod
Right.
and
The door
speak
is
your
open.
piece, the door is open, because while I have never met you, I would certainly like to talk to you about how that has impacted your life.
This man was just trying to prepare for rain.
Which is wild, because literally in ECU's orientation, it tells you to always carry an umbrella, because
Everyone
it could
carries
just,
umbrellas.
bruh, that's literally what they had said ECU stands for. Everyone carries umbrellas, and the man did exactly what he was told, and
Whole
almost
spot
almost
shut
got
down.
it. Almost had it. It could have been the other way.
But I say that because I remember they're like, "Hey, we got class tomorrow later on today." I remember hitting my coworker, because I was still in Raleigh and I had class that afternoon, and they're like, "Yay, and don't you have class this afternoon?" I'm like, "We
Bruh.
they might have. I'm not going to class."
While the
So
doors may be open,
I will not be going through them.
I will not be coming through those doors.
I believe it would be wise if Brown hasn't already, to go ahead and cancel them finals, because
Yeah.
there ain't no way that I'm going to have all this happen and then you expect me to go sit at a desk and ask you what the powerhouse of the cell is. I don't care if I already know it's the mitochondria.
Bruh,
Don't you call me in here to
you might
come
as
fill
well
out this piece of paper.
look. You might as well go ahead and send out that mass email. Whatever your grade is as of now, that
That
is
is
your
your
grade. We
grade.
we we shutting the doors right now. The doors of the house are closed.
Clues.
All those who are in are in.
There,
If you're on the
there is
outside,
there's no room at
bruh,
the end.
there's no
I'm sorry, Joseph. I'm sorry, Mary. You're gonna have to
there's no
make a
room,
way over there.
bruh. Can you imagine, bro, that one person sitting there with a D and was like, bro, I really need to see. All I got to do is
Bruh.
make like a 75 on this exam. And they
Ready
like,
to
oh, we're
go.
not taking any exams just due to, in light of what happened, your grade right now is your final grade, bro.
Bruh.
Sick.
Hurt.
Sick.
Hurt.
It's over. And I was
Bruh,
already on
niggas
academic
studying for
probation
weeks.
this semester. I was already on
Bruh.
academic probation. This was my last straw.
This is the last shot. All right, well, I guess see y'all in 6 months.
All them dollar well drink nights, bro. You should have just stayed in your dorm, bro. Bro, hindsight is always 2020.
So,
Well-
but in seriousness, thoughts to everyone
Yes,
on the Brown
yes.
campus and
Yes.
the people who've been working around the clock in Providence trying to really figure out who this person is.
Yeah.
They're saying the attacks were targeted. I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse about
Yeah.
all this, but yeah. Best wishes. May the Lord be with you.
Yes, and hopefully those authority members that are actively searching for this individual, I hope that all the necessary resources are at your disposal so that this gentleman can be brought to justice. So, well, with that being said, man, I'm kind of excited about something that's starting to shape up in our political landscape. Or I'm starting calling it the political playground.
Not the playground.
First of all, hold on. God, what was the guy who's the senator from Tennessee? What is his name?
Which one?
He's really country. Like got a thick, that's about all of them. He wears glasses. Thune ain't from Tennessee, is he?
No, I don't think so. Hold on.
Okay.
Ugh.
Well, there's a video circulating. I got to speak this before I go into 2026. This gave me some hope.
Bill Haggerty.
Was that him? Mm-hmm. The one that wears the glasses that
Yeah.
he hosted a Christmas party?
The 15-minute Christmas party?
Yes, bruh. I don't know if any of our listeners have seen that video of the 15-minute Christmas party.
Man, it's genius.
First of all, the idea was genius. Because he said, when you go to a Christmas party, within 15 minutes, people get lit. He said, and when you find yourself back in the corner within 15 minutes of being at the Christmas party, or somebody talking your head off, breathing their liquor breath in your face. So he hosts this 15-minute Christmas party. And there, Featherman was there, Democrat. He's talked about how AOC is one of his best friends.
Okay, so for our people at home, we try to make sure we get it is actually Republican Tim Bouchard.
Okay, him, yes. He holds this Christmas party every year and invites his colleagues. And they're from both sides of the aisle that come. And you have to see it on social media. He was handing out little Ritz crackers and had the little spray cheese on it, and had somebody come in from Tennessee. The cheese whiz, yeah. Had somebody come in singing from Tennessee about Tennessee Christmas. I mean, it was just like this little Christmas party with people on the island. He spoke about how he doesn't get along with some Democrat. And I'm sorry to our listeners, I don't have the name, but he was talking about how he does not get along with one of his Democratic colleagues. They don't agree on any issue. He said, but I'm close to him because when my parent passed, he called. And I can't remember, he said it was when his dad passed, that Democratic congressman called his mother or vice versa. But he was like, that meant the world to me. And when I watched that video, man, it made me think there's actually hope, bro, that we can get somewhere back to politics being boring again. Well, we may not agree on issues. See, look,
Brother, no, there's not. Well, I believe we will
Bruh,
have hopeful moments,
okay,
but
okay,
it's up.
maybe you're right.
But it's up and it's stuck.
And it made me think because I said, bro, this is kind of what we have always said about politics being born again, where we can have difference of opinion, but we legit have a respect and a mutual connection working for our constituents. And I was like, I haven't heard or at least seen that expression of seeing individuals from both sides being able to gather together and be civil.
Yeah.
I miss that. I miss that greatly, and I think that little idea was even in his little funny, you may call it weird or just just his Tennessee way.
Mm-hmm.
It brought two sides of the aisle. It brought both sides of the aisle together, and I just want to say that was really dope. And I hope that behind the scenes, shout out to social media because we never would have known that even occurs. But I hope more of that happens behind the scenes, and that one day we can maybe move this thing back in the middle. That's all.
Man, that's a great wish, man.
But every kid that never mind. Bruh.
Everyone who writes a letter to Santa,
hey, bruh. Hey,
ain't getting no present.
Everybody that want to see LeBron before it's over, don't get it, bruh. Mm-hmm. You might have to see Leroy James,
bruh.
But you won't see LeBron James. Leroy
James,
who works overnight, that comes in and just clean the room while you in the bed, but hopefully with that hope that I have, that glimmer of political hope that I have, that one day we'll get back into the middle. Maybe that'll happen
I have a dream.
I have a dream, bro. I have a dream that one day we'll all join hands and be civil again. And maybe that'll happen with the 2026 election that's coming up. There's been some shaking up of the feathers of what we are. This is going to get interesting, bro. As far as the election in 2026, and I don't know if you know, but there was a big announcement that was made this past week.
Yes, there was.
Miss Jasmine Crockett. Miss Jasmine Crockett, the Democratic Congresswoman from Texas, has officially filed to run for the U.S. Senate in the 2026 election, which I believe was a pretty big play.
Yeah. I think so. If you're listening, and you're trying to figure out why are we getting all these announcements? What's all happening? Elections not till next year. So let's cue you guys up. So, and why is it different? Why are we getting all these at different times? So every state has its rules that it's governed by, and what we're getting ready to hit over the next probably about 3 weeks to a month is filing deadlines. So we'll have most people will have their primaries in March, April. So you got to file to go ahead and get on the ballot so they can figure out who's going to be on. So basically they can print the ballots for the primaries. So all that is happening right now. So Jasmine is probably one of the bigger names we're starting to hear. There'll be more.
For sure.
I'm be real. Well, before I be real, I am happy for Jasmine. I think it is going to be a very interesting race. It's going to be tight. But we'll see. Here is my frustration with that race.
Okay.
Is Allred.
Bruh.
Allred performed very well against Ted Cruz. And I'm of the opinion, not being me living in North Carolina, not being a registered Democrat, I thought he had at least earned his chance for another shot. Yeah. Like this wasn't a Beto O'Rourke
Jesus Christ.
No.
Yeah.
This was
this was like substantial as far as what he was able to accomplish, and I think that, albeit that he did not win, I think there was enough on the bone for Democrats to hang their hat on him going another round.
Ted Cruz was going to be. That was wild. That was wild.
That was egregious.
Ted Cruz was and still is a hard person to beat.
Yeah. And I don't
So,
understand why, but we're not gonna get into that right now.
well, no, we can make it real quick.
But
Just time in. It is hard for an incumbent to lose their seat.
yeah,
So, but for the fact that they made him bleed, they made him have to beg for help.
yeah. They made him sweat. They definitely made him
Yeah.
sweat.
So it'll be very interesting to see what happens in this right now. All that said, I do believe that Allred made the correct decision
Yeah.
in stepping to the side, and because Jazz. I'm sorry. I'm saying this like I don't know her personally. Representative Crockett,
Your mama
is
named
on
you
fire.
Jasmine. I'm gonna call you Jasmine.
She's on fire right
Yeah.
now. So there is a lot of momentum. The biggest challenge will be to maintain that momentum through a primary season and then into a general election.
Well, I think that when you look at Jasmine Crockett, I ain't as polished as Manny. I'm gonna call you like we went to school together. When I think of Jasmine, Jasmine has been categorized as being very charismatic, and having a fiery style that is beneficial and it energizes progressives. But what about what it may cost moderate swing voters in Texas? So when you think of that, is that more of a what the Democrats are doing, or is it more of a feature of what they're trying to do in Texas with this 2026 Senate election, or is it going to end up being a flaw? Because I think we talked about it before, and it's been mentioned in politics. Democrats really haven't put their big players
Right.
out on the court, right? Their starting five hasn't been the best or the more popular, fiery Democratic candidates. It's been more of those that are appeasing to less of the progressive. So is this going to be a feature or a flaw? Because when you look at the success that Allred had, I wouldn't consider him to be nearly as charismatic and he's more appealing, I would believe, to moderate voters than Jasmine Crockett could be. So
Yeah.
what do you feel on that?
I think that's valid. So I think that's part of it. I think when we think about Texas, Texas is going to be multifaceted. So I think we still have some time for some interesting things to shake out, especially now that the Supreme Court has said, yeah, y'all can go ahead and run these maps.
Which
I think
might come back to bite. They may not get 5 seats.
Oh, no. I don't think they'll get 5 seats. Based on
What's over under?
man, look, based on my understanding from people that I've talked to down in Texas, how they drew the maps to get these 5 extra seats were not done with the most forethought.
Oh boy. It's always the case, bro.
Not done with the most forethought in mind. And I think that is a statement about the entire administration at this point, that there's not a lot of forethought. But my understanding is how they targeted the redraw was not based on party affiliation or lower races. They did it on the presidential race.
Oh, bro,
That's a rough race to
Right.
try to redistrict your entire state on, because while it might help, well, no, it's not really going to help the presidency.
No.
States are going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But because if you look at ballot drop off, so let's just take the state of North Carolina, virtually everyone votes for whoever's running for president. Most people vote for Congress. I think you get maybe a 2% drop off. You maybe get another drop off right after that. But then after you get into like the state seats, it's like you lose 40%.
Yeah.
So when my understanding, when they did the redistricting, a lot of people were taken into account that were Trump voters, but are really left leaning. So when they did the numbers, they're probably a whole lot more blue than they're actually red. So that might cause a problem in several of these new seats. We'll see. We'll
Right.
see. But the other flip side of this is assuming everything. So let's assume Jasmine Crockett gets out of the primary. She does have a primary to get through. I'm not envisioning it being much of a problem.
Yeah.
Right now, the incumbent is John Corn, and that is going to be a tight race. Like, he's got to get out of his primary. To be, because he's right now facing Ken Paxton, who's Texas Attorney General, and U.S. Congressman Wesley Hunt from Houston.
Yep.
And with Houston being, I think in the U.S. is like the fourth largest city now.
Yeah. It's somewhere up there. Yeah.
So there's going to be a battle there, I think, to get out of that. And if John Corn loses, I think that just throws another layer of complexity into this race and what happens. Jasmine Crockett is up against state rate James Tallarico in Austin.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to the listeners. I have no idea who that is. But I think it'll be interesting. Like, if you ask what I want to happen, I want Jasmine to get out of her primary.
Yeah.
But I would be more intrigued if John Corn loses his primary.
Yeah. That's more telling.
And you have because what you could also start seeing is a rejection of the Republican Party. And if you start seeing that, we start having incumbents lose their seats to upstarts, you will start to get a good view and good different understanding of what this new Republican Party is going to look like. Because honestly, this is the only race we're going to have before 2028. So it's the only opportunity that both parties are going to be able to take some level of pulse across the nation to figure out what messages are working, what messages aren't working, and what personalities, you look at the whole New York race with I was going to say Mandy, and that is not his name. That is McDonough, yeah. Mandy he's a doctor that lives here in North Carolina. No, not McDonald's. Mandy. He's a doctor here in the Raleigh area that I know. But yeah, McDonough, like, let me tell you how Dems are going to mess this up.
Right. I know it was coming, bro. Because really, bro, the Democrats are walking to a situation where this could be the epic LeBron James D Wade alley oop, but they're gonna hit the rim.
ain't nothing more on time than the Dems messing it up for themselves.
Bro.
I'm going to say this, and we're going to come back here, pause, in November to review this statement. Just because they worked in New York City does not mean it's going to work in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Nope.
It doesn't mean
using
it's
everything
going
for
to
the
be
manuscript
in Toledo. It may not work in Texas. It may not work in California. May not work in Colorado. Just every single political district is a different beast, and you must treat it as such.
Treat it as such,
what they ultimately need to do is to look at this from what macro pieces can we take? That people want younger leadership. They want connected leadership.
Yep.
We need to raise money. These are the messages that resonated to this group of people. Cool.
Yep.
This message resonated to this group of people. This is how this message. You can use some parallels, but it is not the same race.
No. And if they're not careful, they're going to make that mistake, because while you obviously should take the macro, as you stated, using what's in the macro and using that to tailor your micro is going to get you caught.
Get you caught every time.
Every single time. Every time. So I think that they have a wonderful opportunity. Let's see, the Democrats are always messing something up, man. Because I'm even like with seeing the whole affordability thing. Trump is literally handing you ad work after ad work after ad work on the affordability topic, and I feel like they're not capitalizing on it all at all. I mean, now granted, it could be one of the main topics that they push in 2026, but while the pot is hot, let's cook.
Well, and it's like that's the other mistake that's laying out there for not hitting him on that. Like I would start hitting him now because we all know at this point.
I know one person that will.
Newsom. Gavin.
But you got to start on fire.
You got to start hitting him now because the one thing you know about Donald Trump, he's going to give you some more content.
Always, bro.
There will be something new that you can hit him on.
Yep.
In January and something new in February. People need to
capitalize, bro. Like your opportunity.
People are sitting on powder, and you telling somebody in October 2026 what Trump said in December 25 is not going to matter.
It's not going to matter. You got to hit it. You got to sow, bro. You have to sow the seed now, bro. You can't wait until a week before harvest and say, well, let me put this seed in the ground.
Put this in and see what happens.
So much vital time. And, bro, this is the thing. Affordability. See, this is, Manny, this is why we need to be employed.
Come holler at them.
What better time than to run as like crazy on affordability at holiday time, Christmas time? Families ain't being able to buy as many gifts. Where you got clips of the president saying, "Oh, well, you just instead of getting $30, you may only get one." Oh, affordability is a Democratic hoax, and people know I really can't. Regardless of what Trump's saying, bro, I can't afford this Christmas. Bro, we can't afford these. Everybody getting one gift this Christmas. Why not capitalize on that? That ham that your grandma was getting from Food Line for $20, it done go on to
$78.56 before tax.
Y'all wondering why y'all getting ham slices and nobody seen the whole ham? That's why affordability. Grandma can't afford that whole ham. Why not capitalize on that? And that makes me think, man, what the Democrats are doing. What's the plan?
Bro, ain't no plan. Ain't no plan. You know that, and I know that. But we could have ran.
They got concepts of a plan,
right? That's all they got. That's all they got is concepts of plans. We ain't got no health care,
bro. I'm sitting here looking like how many bro. Stop telling me that you know how to dunk the ball, but you can't catch no alley-oop.
Stop telling me you can dunk the ball, and I ain't seen you do a layup.
Hey, bro, I ain't seen you yet.
Bro. Sir, are you even at the stadium? Bro, sir, why are you at the football field telling me you can dunk?
I didn't even know you was on the team. As a matter of fact, I ain't never seen you on the floor.
But geez, we could run in. It is the central question we have asked since this podcast started. Is Democrats, what is your plan?
What is your plan?
And I'm yet the closest the Dems have shown me to them having a plan was the holdout for the government shutdown. I'm like, this appears to be a plan of sorts.
Yep. Y'all always appear like y'all got a plan, but then when it's time for us to see the plan, we don't got no plan.
Or the plan is trash, because you know who always got a plan? Cory Booker.
Bruh.
And what's Cory Booker's plan going to be? He's going to
get up on that mic
and talk for 46 minutes, or just come out of nowhere saying, "Hey, y'all, I'm getting married." What?
Hey, Cory Booker got him. He went and got him I believe back in the day, Bobby Brown and New Edition would call that a tenderoni. Is he rolling out another Tim Scott? Hey. Tim Scott ain't showed his wife since all the steam.
Bro, we ain't seen it. We ain't seen her. Well, no, they got married. I do remember seeing that post that
he paid for that.
Bro, you
He
remember the
paid for that.
movie Head of State?
Yes.
And
Yes.
they pulled like, hey, this will be your wife. That's how I feel like this is going with Cory Booker. Because
Bruh.
also I feel like Cory Booker's wife, and we are not here to talk about people's looks, but I also feel like she is a variant of Rosario Dawson.
She is. He got her off another timeline.
He said,
But
wait a
I will
second.
say this, Corey. While if you found love, I'm happy for you.
Congratulations. Love is a beautiful thing.
Every man needs to find his woman, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I will never not I will never be against that. But if you did this to somehow make you look more politically appeasing, in 2028,
It's not going to work, homie.
it ain't gonna work, bro. If you ain't making out them trenches the first time, you ain't gonna make it
There's
out
a
again
reason.
just because you got a wife. We ain't gonna
That-
vote for you because of that wife. We ain't vote for you because of you.
and that does not mean, hey, go adopt a dog during Christmas.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Don't
I
pray
am
no
almost
kids in
wi-
front of us for no political, bro. Don't do it, bro. Don't waste your time, bro.
I will donate $100 to the North Carolina Food Bank when Cory Booker posts on Christmas that he and his wife got a dog.
Bruh.
Almost guaranteed. Like I might as well go ahead and write that check right now. In fact,
Right.
I will do $200, $100 for the North Carolina Food Bank, and I will do another $100 for the New Jersey Food Bank if Cory Booker pops off with a new dog during Christmas.
So you donating $100 to both food banks. You realize that in this economy, all you did was just buy both of those food banks 5 bags of Brazilian oranges.
Because of affordability. And Dems, that is how easy it is to talk about a subject.
Some
weren't
kid
even
gonna be
trying.
hungry, but his calcium level gonna be good.
Calcium on point. On point. All because Cory Booker got him a dog. The most constructive thing that's happened to the country because of Cory Booker this year.
Man, look, I don't know. The one thing I did feel about all of this is that at least getting the Democrats to move in a with unity. Because as soon as like Jasmine announced, Homeboy was like, already was like, oh yeah, I'm just drop out and I'm gonna go to try to go ahead and get my spot in the House. I was like, okay, big dog step.
But also realize what goes into something like that. He knew.
Bruh.
Something tells me that
Oh yeah, somebody
Jasmine
made that
strikes,
call and told him.
Well, I don't even think it was somebody. Like, I think that was a call Jasmine made. How the situation strikes me is that Jasmine called and said, hey, I'm running for this. I wanted to let you know, and I wanted you to hear from me. That's how I feel like in my head this would have gone. But
Bruh,
either
but
way,
if
he knew before the announcement came.
He ain't want that smoke.
Right. And we see it all the time. Like we saw it here in North Carolina when Wiley Nichols, like, yeah, I'm running for Senate. And when Roy popped out, he said, nah, I'm good.
You got it. You got it.
This DA race in Wake County sure looks fun to me.
Bruh. I will say this, though. Now, Dems, you might be in a pickle because if Jasmine Crockett makes it to the end and she don't perform as well as Allred did, bruh, that's a mean L for 2026.
It's going to look real bad. It's going to look real bad.
And in all honesty, you may have just set yourself back for the 2028 if that happens.
Well, I don't know, because at the end of the day, it's still Texas.
I mean,
like,
yeah.
Did we?
But what you thought you were going to be able to hang your hat on in 2028, you may have to go back to the drawing board. And they have proven that they aren't too good when it comes to going back to the drawing board.
Yeah. And it's hard to lose multiple times. Like,
yeah, it is.
So, but this is not the only like high profile race we'll be talking about. Like, again, as these deadlines get closer and closer and closer, more people are going to retire. But to go on to creativity, so in North Carolina, there is a race, and it's Tim Moore. It's for a Tim Moore seat. I can't remember the number. So somebody is it's very interesting. So somebody is, and I'm gonna go look for her name while I'm talking about this. So if I awkwardly pause, listeners, is because I'm trying to multitask and not doing a very good job of it. So in Tim Moore's race, there is a woman who was a Democrat, has decided to switch and is now a Republican and is primarying Tim Moore,
Mm.
but is very clear that she is not.
Oh,
She's not
oh,
a
girl,
Republican.
that ain't a Republican. She used to be a Democrat, and she just running to kind of jack up the
Her,
seat, basically.
yeah. So it is Kate Barr.
Yep,
And her theory here, and it's interesting, is that
very interesting.
a Democrat is never going to be able to beat Tim Moore.
Yep,
So I'm going to run as a Republican. And what I want you to do, if you're a Democrat, I want you to switch parties and pull the Republican ballot. Or if you're an independent, I want you to go ahead and pull the Republican ballot. Or if you're a Republican, you can vote for me. And if enough of you do this, I will be able to beat Tim Moore in a
Bruh.
primary and
I love it.
become and it's US House 14. Sorry, we finally got to the number. And I'm like, this, and I was telling G's before, I was like, this is a very interesting tactic. I don't think it will work.
Yeah,
Mostly because
true.
and I think part of why I don't think it'll work right now is because of time. It
Yeah.
is the primary is the third. I think Dems who want to change affiliation have until like the end of this month to be able to do it. Independents are the second largest group, I believe. No, they are the largest group right now. Mathematically, it is possible.
Yeah,
Where this becomes interesting, she doesn't have to win for this to become interesting. If she makes it close, if she makes Tim Moore have to sweat,
bruh.
then it will be guaranteed we will watch this replay itself from both parties across the country. And it is going to be ignorant.
Bruh.
The
Right.
amount, if this is successful, if you guys were sick of the amount of money in politics now,
Oh, bruh. It's about to get.
you're going to be real sick when this is all set because these primaries are going to get astronomically
Bruh.
more expensive.
Bruh, it is about to be. I mean, the money is about to be flying out the wazoo, bruh. It's going to be so crazy with what happens if she's able to pull this off. But I low key, man, am excited for this election. Like, I'm just low key for just all that is going to take place.
Make it
in
interesting.
2020. Bruh, thank you. This isn't boring. Like, there is legit. Okay, we know Trump is in his last term, asterisk, but in case he finds a way to squeeze his, back into it. But this is like, okay, the Trump era is moving either to the next chapter or we're going into a landscape where we really don't know how this is going to look from both sides of the aisle. And people are pulling out as many of the tricks,
All the stops.
all the stops that they possibly can do. And I'm here for it.
Right. You got to get creative because
Got
it is
to.
clear with Trump and the state of politics right now. What we knew was nice and normal ain't working.
Nah, bro. Nah, bro. You got to
So-
get creative. You got to get dirty. You got to, bro. It is like on and popping.
And I'll go ahead and say it too, Kate Barr.
Yeah.
If you are interested in
Oh, bro,
joining
Kate.
the boys on the pod to talk about
Kate.
your race,
Kate, you
Come on
are
through.
so welcome. You are
And-
more than welcome to
and
join the
Tim
pod.
Moore, come on through too.
Hey, man, you got to fight for your right to party.
Look, the doors of the pod are open for most
Yes.
people. Actually, I don't know that many people we wouldn't have on the pod. There are some.
Yeah, we ain't got a long list
There's
of people
some.
that we.
There's a
would-
list.
Is Mark Robinson on that list?
Look, Mark Robinson is not on the list of being banned from the pod.
Okay.
I would welcome Mark Robinson on this show. Now, would he stay the entire duration? Absolutely not.
Oh no.
Because he
When
gonna
when these
go up under
coals
these
get red,
coals, bro, bro.
it's on.
And you know what? He is probably one of the few people I would just have smoke for immediately.
Yep. Don't
With
even
a
give him no chance.
Dear Lord Jesus is a fire.
Bro. We getting right to the shenanigans, bro. But yeah.
But there's about to be there's so many retirements, so many
So
open
much, bro.
seats. There's so much creativity, and I think that is the other piece I want to get across is if you look at some of these races, and in 2016. So actually, take a step back. 2015, actually even further, 2014. When you look at the Republican primary, and I'll only speak about the North Carolina primary for president, and you looked at the teams that Trump was putting together politically here in North Carolina, that team that he put together were people who were known in politics but were just waiting on a shot. And I feel like Trump did that across the country. And I think that helped propel him in 2016 with pulling people off the bench who were just looking for a shot. And I think it is time that more people do that on both sides. You know, if someone worked for Obama, that's fantastic. Obama been out of office how long now? Politics has changed how much since then? So there are new people with new ideas. You're going to have to risk it to get the biscuit.
Yes, sir.
So you're going to have to go for new ideas. You're going to have to try new things if you expect to be successful. This playbook for some of these more competitive seats, or some of these seats people are trying to make competitive, you're going to have to do some interesting stuff. And will some of it work? Yes. Will some of it fail catastrophically? Absolutely. Just don't do anything that you don't want read aloud or seen aloud on the 6 o'clock news or on the front of the New York Times.
Yeah. But you're going to have to, going into 2026 and these midterm elections, you have to get creative. If you're playing same old politics, now some places it may work.
Some places it will work.
Yeah, some places it will work. But if you have to be able to identify what it will take with where you're located. And some of these places are going to have to get creative and going to have to really get outside of the box if they want to get over that finish line. And I'm very interested to see how Texas turns out. I will say I can't even remember the name, and I'm sorry to our listeners that I don't have it, but I believe the mayor who just won in Miami, first Democratic mayor in Miami, in what, like 30-some years or something like that. There is some change that are happening in certain small pockets in certain areas, but it's going to take that creativity. And this is for both sides. I'm not speaking this for Democrats. I'm saying both. Republicans going to have to get creative too. The Republican of the day is not the Republican of 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Things have to change. And I think that if you're not willing to do that, you ain't really willing to win that biscuit. And it's going to take some very interesting campaigning, and just a level. Bro, shout out to the people who work on these teams behind the scenes, because that's just as important. There's some unsung heroes that we don't know of that are going to put some of these candidates over the finishing line, based off of the creativity and the innovation and what they are able to bring to the table in this political landscape.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is a team effort. So the one thing that I would like to also say, if you are over the age of 80,
bro, bring that number down.
Sorry, if you are over
65,
I'll give you 70. If you are 70 or older, go home,
bro.
We tired of you. Go home. You're not going to have to live with any of the decisions you're going to have to make. So grab your hat and your coat. Good day.
Bro, I don't understand how people can be that old serving in Congress because I seen my grandma at 60, 65, and
Bruh.
she didn't want to do nothing. So how do you have the energy to go do work every day at 70 and 75 going up to DC? You first of all, if you've ever been to the Capitol, there's
Bro,
a
that's
lot
a
of bro, that's some walking that need to be done.
bruh.
Why do you want to do that much walking every day?
Every time I've been in DC, I got a smooth 20,000 steps.
Bruh, bruh, you gonna work. You gonna work.
Bruh.
Well, I'll tell you something else when it comes to working that hasn't worked when it comes to this midterm election that's coming up. I don't know if you saw, but Trump had a little attitude when it pertains to the GOP that is in Indiana because they have defied King Trump's order about redistricting, and the Indiana State Senate voted down the congressional map that would have reshaped the state's districts to eliminate Democratic House seats. 21 Republicans joined all of the Democrats in blocking the plan, what has been called as a rare rebuke of President Trump's directive within the GOP. So when you think about this, and Indiana making this bold move against President Trump, do you think that this is just them doing the right thing? Which I mean, in all of this thing with the congressional maps, they only happen with every 10 years, right?
Yeah. Well, they're
So
only supposed to redraw every 10 years
every ten
after the
years.
census. Yeah.
What do you take from this bold move from the GOP in Indiana of not taking up Trump's demand?
I actually don't think it's a bold move.
Okay,
I think it's the right move. I think the
I
bold
definitely
move
think it's the right move.
I think the bold move was even trying to put it up
Mm,
to redraw. I think that's, one thing in this age of politics that I think we're dealing with is normalizing things that shouldn't be normalized.
yeah.
Like normalizing redrawing the map to give a party extra seat is not normal. So that is the
Which to
bold
me, I don't
move.
understand why people don't have more of a problem with this.
And more people should. And more
This is
people
wrong.
should. Like, so I think good on Indiana
Yeah,
to do this. But I think what also people forget is that some of this is short sighted. Like you're not always going to be in power.
yeah.
There's not been a wave in America where it didn't cycle in and out. Like eventually you're going to lose power, and guess what? People are going to remember that. So it is always keen to be aware of how you led when you were in
Yeah.
leadership,
Right.
because when you get back to the minority, it's gonna put you in a predicament.
You
So
got to be remembered for something.
I think it's good they're going to keep this map. I think it makes sense. I wish more states, including North Carolina, would have followed suit.
Yeah,
But it also shows that Trump might be losing some of his juice.
bruh. He, I think so because he was not happy.
He was
Like
not happy.
he was basically like, "Oh, that's the
He
end of your career,
he was doing Birdman at Breakfast Club.
bruh."
I'm not gonna say it no more. Not
I
gonna
mean,
say
but
it. No.
but at the end of the day, I mean, it's probably about time to turn heel, bro. You about to be out. How long do we really think like the MAGA movement is really gonna last? Like, look, if we're
It's
gonna be
lasted a lot
realistic,
longer than I thought.
it definitely has. But I think also the mouthpiece is still there. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's only but so much you can. There's only but so much that's gonna happen when the mouthpiece is still there. But let's be real, there is nobody that can pick up the MAGA. And Trump's even said it. Nope, there I am MAGA. There is no MAGA
Yeah.
after me.
No.
And so it's like
He's right. He's right.
It won't be.
There will be
So,
entire dissertations about the MAGA movement.
bruh, I have told people that countless times that there will be that what will come out of American politics that will be written for years to come based off of Donald Trump is going to be insane. I feel like I'm going to be, Lord willing, 70 years old, and somebody's going to be like, "Oh, so you lived during the presidency of Donald Trump?" Yes, I did 2 terms, and I'm still here.
Still here, still me. But like, no,
Millions didn't make it, but I was one of the ones that did.
there there will be books written
Bruh,
about the choice the Republicans made
bruh,
in 2009 and not stomping out the Tea Party movement that
bruh,
eventually
yes,
gave way to the MAGA movement.
bruh. Wild. It is wild. And I don't think that, and I know that for us, this is what we do for potting, but I really don't think that the mass majority of Americans understand the trajectory of what happened with that movement
Right.
and allowing that Tea Party, and like you said, and what that cultivated, and allowing the pathway. And we've always said this in our group chat: Obama don't go without blame either.
Bruh, I've said it on this pod. It's Obama's fault.
It's Obama's fault.
It's Obama's
And
fault.
people may knock us for that, but if you ever get a chance to hear our reasoning,
It's
it
Obama's
is
fault.
very valid. It's Obama's fault, and it's the followers, because Grandma had a picture of
Bruh.
Obama in the living room beside
It was
JFK,
Jesus, JFK, Obama.
Malcolm. I mean, not Malcolm. Martin Luther
Martin.
King and Obama. Bruh. That's why at some point you can't be but so mad at MAGA, because while the Obama movement didn't have a name like MAGA, they certainly had some
Treated
characteristics.
us. And well, then on top of that, like Obama made the Democratic Party lazy.
Yep.
They said, "Oh man, this man he's not freaking out. He's just, look how he does. Look how he gives these speeches. Oh,
Bruh.
he made it. Look, they got lazy,
Yep.
and then caught that L.
Yep.
They got outworked. They got outworked. They went out there with Phillip Rivers in 2026, hoping that Phillip Rivers take them to the playoffs,
Bruh.
and caught that fade.
Cleveland Cavaliers thought that they would be able to sustain some level of success when LeBron left, but they didn't realize the only reason that you were winning was because you had
Because of
LeBron.
LeBron.
And when LeBron left, you realized you really don't have the pieces to be successful. Equal Democratic Party. But
Yep.
that's another conversation.
There's a whole there's a whole subject on that one.
But we ain't gonna go there tonight. We ain't gonna go there today. So, it's gonna be very interesting again what happens in the 2026 election. But be well rested and assured that we here at Pardon the Politics podcast will be covering every bit of it and giving you all the details and our thoughts on how we feel the race will be going leading up to. I'm assuming we probably will do election night.
We gonna be live on election night.
Live in there.
We may even have to do Super Tuesday.
Hey, man. Whatever the listeners would like, we'll deliver, brother.
We'll make it happen.
Well, when it comes to our political landscape and how things may shape up in 2026, we don't have to worry about one thing going a little awry in the political landscape. We may have to even have a new segment brought to the podcast called "How Trump is Effing Up This Week."
Because every week is something new.
It's something else.
It's something
In
new
this
every
segment,
week.
we just cover whatever happens that Trump is just screwing up. Now, I will say, my brother always says that a broken clock is right twice a day.
Twice a day.
So I feel like if we point out how he f's up in the week, we got to point out when he does something good. So to be fair to our listeners, we will bring you the f ups. But if Trump has done something well,
We're gonna call it out too.
Yep. What Trump done this week? That's what we'll call it. That can cover both sides. But first thing I want to talk about is his controversial plan in this massive ballroom that he's building at the White House, bro.
Bruh.
This thing has gotten out of hand. First of all, I believe it is the East Wing? East Wing.
Yeah.
The East Wing, which is deemed as being historic, has been demolished.
It's been deleted.
It's been deleted, bro. It looks crazy, but The problem is the original architect has been fired because he told Trump, basically, bro, you trying to build that big old ballroom on this building.
How you trying to build? How you trying to build a annex of the house
Bro,
that's bigger than the
to the
house?
house. Trump trying to take a double wide trailer and attach a whole man
A whole
cave
high
with a hot
school.
tub, bro. Yo, Trump a fool. But the architect said, hey, look, man, okay, if you want to do a ballroom, we can do a ballroom, but bro, we can't do a ballroom that big. So of course, in Trump fashion, you gotta go. So then he fired the entire DC architect oversight board, which would normally talk about how such historical projects are reviewed. They gone. Brought in another guy. He
Gone.
said, hey, look, I'll do it. But bro, this ain't gonna happen. Gone. It made me think, Manny. Could it possibly be that at the end of Trump's term,
They
he
just
may leave the
rebuilding
White
old-
House? It's just nothing there.
I mean, that's plausible. That's not where I thought you were going with the question, but
Okay.
I think that is completely plausible.
Because I think that's what's gonna happen.
the the three scenarios where I see this landing
Okay.
is, I think you said one, nothing. It's just
Nothing
a
happens.
vacant lot. I think option two is that they rebuild what was already there.
Bruh. You know what? I may have to take that option, bro. I can definitely see that,
We're gonna do this. It's gonna look great,
bro. In Trump
It's-
fashion, that is very likely. That I'm leading with that,
And then the third option is some type of ballroom that is scaled back.
bro. Why? I mean, why does he want to do this?
I also don't rule out him saying, if they just build it back to like it was, I would not, because what, he's got 3 years to figure this out.
Yeah,
I would not rule out this man leveling a part of Mar-a-Lago, some other, and putting up, buying some random real estate
yep,
in and around downtown DC and building a separate ballroom.
bro, and putting his name on it.
Aren't they getting ready to leave the FBI building in DC?
Yeah, they're
Tear it
supposed to
down.
be. Tear it
There
down,
goes.
build
Ballroom.
Trump's terrific ballroom, the terrific tower.
And then the price keeps going up. Like, and that's my other thing. Like Trump,
Did he get on Jerome Powell about that when he went down to the Fed building a couple of months ago?
that building has already been built. What, bro? Yeah, this is bad. This is, well, of
I think
all
it's a
the
great-
things.
I
of
think it's
all
a great
the thi-
depiction of American politics right now.
Take it apart. Okay, we got to put it back together. Ooh,
Ooh,
ooh. Anyone got them instructions? We saved those. Nope.
bro.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do. I do believe that there is still like a lawsuit that's been filed
Yeah.
against it. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, we're
Trump.
missing part of the White House.
Well, we might be missing part of the White House, but I think, and another thing, what Trump done did, we might be missing part of the White House, but Venezuela missing the oil tanker.
Bro,
I told y'all last week to stay out of the waters.
stay out of them waters, and here y'all go. I mean, I told
Bruh.
you this man a while.
Bruh, things are escalating in the Caribbean, bruh. The Trump administration seized a huge Venezuelan oil tanker, and it was named the Skipper off the coast of Venezuela, marking a major expansion in U.S. action against Maduro's regime, sanction enforcement, and maritime operations. Now, this tanker was seized under U.S. law for allegedly transporting Venezuelan and possibly Iranian oil in violation of longstanding sanctions. The U.S. forces, being the Coast Guard and Navy helicopters, and I believe drones and all, but it was a whole like it
Whole
looked like
thing.
something out of a movie. They boarded and seized the vessel under a warrant just before it expired. Now, Trump said that this seizure was a very good. They had a very good reason to clamp down on illicit oil and tied it broadly to national security, anti-drug efforts, saying the U.S. Might, bruh. Trump said they might keep the oil, bruh.
I'll hold on to this. Let me hold on to this for a little bit.
Now, of course, Venezuela has come out and said that this is an act of piracy, and then that made me laugh because I'm like, bro, we really got U.S. pirates, bro. Like, but this is also just a rise in just tensions that are going on, and with Trump doing this, and I get it that they had the warning and everything, but why are we poking bears?
So there's a lot of reasons why I think, and a lot of other things that have been put out there. But we haven't done it this episode. So, geez, if you wouldn't mind,
bruh, I was like, are we gonna make it the whole episode without one?
Absolutely not. So, on the interwebs, our good old tinfoil hat community. What some of them have said. Now, I will denote, I don't know if I believe this. I've seen no evidence to this be true, but politics is just wild enough that I believe it. I could see it happening. That there is a belief that China is about to make a run on Taiwan. And that the U.S. does get a fair amount of money from Taiwan to help the economy. Well, they need to offset that. So that is why they're going to try to run up into Venezuela. That's what the tinfoil hat community. I think it's simpler than that.
What do you think?
I think Venezuela provides an economic opportunity there, but I also think that it works good within its messaging. So it's a country that can't really fight back and doesn't have any immediately close friends. So let's say worst case scenario, they want to stall the election because we're at war. I think that might be the play. But yeah, like I don't fully understand what we want to do over there.
Well, I think that if we try to just, and I know this, and I'm saying this lightly, but if we want to fight, let's go ahead and just get it over with. I'm tired of this whole bullying and, bro, I'm tired of all the. You ever see two people, bro?
If you're gonna fight, go ahead and fight,
bro. And it's all the extra stuff.
I bet you won't come over here. I bet you won't come over here.
Hit me first. Hit me first. No, you hit me first. Hit me. No. Somebody hit somebody so we can get this over with.
Hit somebody first. Who's taking the first swing?
Bro, I'll swing. I hit one of y'all.
y'all just get down to business.
But at this point, because this escalation is just tiptoeing closer and closer and closer to just getting out of hand. And at this point, man, I don't know. Right. I don't know. I really don't.
I also know that, I don't know if our economy can handle us going to war, but, that's never stopped us from doing anything.
Instead of worrying about that oil that the Venezuelans got, how about you bring these oil prices down so that we can fry some chicken, we can eat some fish, we can cook, bro, how about you bring these grocery prices down? Right. You want to bring this oil in, bring all this other stuff down, gas, cost of living, affordability. You worried about what Venezuela got going on, bro.
I heard that affordability was a Democrat hoax.
Bro.
That's what I heard.
When the last time you been to the store and you bought some cooking oil, bro?
All right, so we had this argument. Well, we didn't have an argument. We were having this discussion trying to figure out what we were going to do for Thanksgiving, whether we're going to deep fry turkey or whether we're just going to, roast one. Boy, I walked past that thing of peanut oil. Bruh. They wanted $60. I said the devil is a lie.
That's what I'm saying, bro. They worried about the wrong oil, bro. Oil is crazy. Now, granted, I don't eat a lot of fried food. I don't, but every now and then, bro, I get a taste. I get a taste for it, bro. Man, and so I don't have oil stocked in the house because I don't buy it on a regular. But bro, I went and I'm like, why? I don't remember as a kid oil being this expensive.
No, because it wasn't. It
Why?
was not
Why
this
is this oil
expensive.
$7, bro? I swear to God, my mama used to get oil for like $1.29. Why am I paying $7 for some oil? And I'm only gonna use it like this one time,
Bruh.
bro.
One time.
Trump,
Backs.
Trump, I need you to worry about the right oil, bro.
Bruh.
Let America fry again.
Now RFK gonna get upset because you got to use beef tallow.
Oh, bro. He gonna start telling me that the reason why dementia is involved because you've been eating with vegetable oil when you should have been doing sunflower seed oil. Like, oh, bro,
Should have got
never
that
knew,
beef tallow and that fish fillet.
bro. At any rate, bro, Trump got to stop doing stuff, bro.
Bro, you got to sit down.
What you done this week, bro? On top of, bro, there was a clip I was gonna play, but I said, you know what? I'm not even gonna do our listeners like that, bro. Trump told a story at I believe it was a Christmas event, and started talking about how this doctor got bit by this viper snake in Peru. Bruh, I gotta drop it in the group. When I tell you I cried, he went on a tangent about how this snake is one of those snakes that are like in the top four is the black mamba, the brown mamba, and the viper from Peru. He said, I asked anybody, he said, did anybody see the snake? He said, everybody said, just let him go. He said, and I just lost one vote. We didn't
What?
protect the snake. But he said that the snake was the deadliest snake. If it bites you, you die instantly. But he was talking to a doctor that got bit by one. And then he talked about how the man was in a concussion for 2 years and missed the holiday season. Bruh, it was wild. I was like, oh, somebody page his nurse.
Sit down. Sit down.
At that moment, I knew. I said, he done soiled himself. When Grandpa started telling weird stories,
the wild stories.
Yep, check his diaper. But bro, you know Trump always doing something, and I'm sure next week we'll have
It'll be something else. That's why it's a segment.
That's why we got to add it as a segment now. What Trump done did, bro. So, Trump, calm down, man. It's the holiday season. Matter of fact, take a break, bro.
Get some rest, man. All this work you've been doing trying to make America great.
I was about to say make America.
Yeah, get some rest, man. The country will run itself.
It'll be fine, bro. Just go home for the holidays, man.
Yeah.
I want to wait. Sure. What do you think he asked for Christmas, bro? A bonnet?
No, see, I was going to see you did not take this in a direction that I thought you were going to take it. And I was going to say, yeah, see, I was not going to be civil. I'm just not even I'm not going to answer that question,
bro,
until we are off air.
Hey, bro, sometimes you don't have to take the alley-oop, bro.
It was a good one too.
Hey, bro, look, that's what I do, man.
I did one of those, came up with the arm. I was like, oh, no, I'm gonna let it go.
Bro.
Because if I do this, I'm gonna land in the crowd. I'm gonna hit the camera guy. You know what? I'm
more harm than good, bro.
Yeah, we were already up by 15.
Yep. Well, that being said, you would have thought that Trump might have been our pickle of the week, but he is not. But we are currently at that time where in our episode, we want to bring to you the pickle of the week.
We've got your pickle. We've got your pickle. We've got your pickle.
All right. This pickle does not bring me any joy. I want to say that first and foremost. Mm-hmm. Now I did think about my pickle wasn't going to be political, but I try not to be the brother when he's down. But ex-football coach for Michigan, yeah,
boy,
yeah, bro.
I mean,
you deserve
you
this
pickle.
Bro, I don't know if you know, but you know, on top of all that happened, I saw this morning on the way to work that a OnlyFans model came and spoke out and said that
he tried to get him to do a foursome.
Bro, something about a foursome, and She was like, but he never offered us, season tickets to the Michigan football game. And then the thing that had me weak was she said, yeah, I've talked to him before he got arrested, and I've talked to him after he got arrested too. And I said, bro, now come on, bro,
Bro,
you got out of jail.
that man, wife and kids watch.
You got out of jail. And you went back to the still dirty work,
Bro,
bro.
that's
You ain't
nasty
learned your
work,
lesson,
sir.
bro. Bro, you went straight back to the nasty work.
Bro, that
You deserve to be a pickle, bro. But I
yeah.
couldn't, bro. I'm gonna save them coals for you, bro. I try not to kick a brother when he down, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you in the
You,
kitchen, you on the kitchen counter. You have been seasoned and ready for the grill.
bro.
You got about one more thing to come out about your situation, and we're gonna have to rate them coals under you too. But the pickle does not bring me any joy, but I must bring it to our listeners' attention. The pickle of the week is should be the American people, but I'm going to start with this pickle being Congress. And Congress is in a pickle right now because they are officially in crunch time mode, scrambling to stop healthcare costs from exploding for millions of Americans. Excuse me. There are several temporary healthcare provisions that are about to expire. And one thing I want to say is that they knew this deadline, these expiration dates were happening. This is no news. They were not caught off guard by this. But because of what has taken place in Congress, there is crunch time where the deadline is approaching, where healthcare is about to spike
End
like
of the year.
nobody's business for a ton of Americans. And while the president speaks of affordability being a Democratic hoax, one thing that is not a hoax is our health care and what we have to pay in this country. Um, me and Manny both being parents, having kids, healthcare is
Healthcare is
crazy.
key.
Healthcare is key and it's crazy the cost. But we are blessed to be able to afford that. But some Americans will not be able to afford the cost when some of these provisions in their health care is gone. And as many have stated, this is going to be massive going at the end of the year. We only have what, 2 weeks,
Two
less than
weeks
two
left.
weeks
Yep.
for the middle class families. They really could see this huge premium spikes. And we saw that before with the government shutdown, how Senator Warnock in Georgia he put it up like, hey, this is what you're paying for
This is what it
premiums
is.
now. If these things happen, this is what you're going to be paying. And that reality is about to come true
Yep.
for a lot of Americans if something is not done before this clock expires.
Yeah. Yeah.
Congress, you got to do something. But at the same time, you need a pop on the hand too, because you knew this was happening. You knew this was coming, and we're still here in the ninth and the final hour trying to figure out what can be done. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Manny. I don't think anything's gonna get done.
Oh no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, I think if anything is going to get done, something will get done before the next government shutdown,
Oh yeah, which is
end of January.
okay. All right,
So, but yeah, we're
Congress, you're the pickle, but the real pickle is the American people that are gonna suffer from this. And like we talked about in our first segment, this ain't good going into a midterm election.
well
2026.
here. Let's remember why it's also getting shot down. It is getting shot down because Trump has made it clear that he wants no subsidies for Obamacare.
Yep.
So I'll save a whole bunch of other thoughts for another time. But yeah, if Trump was fine with extending the subsidies for a year, I think he would do it. I think they would get something signed, and he still might change his mind and deliver a Christmas miracle. But that's why, like, somebody has come out and said that, like, hey, I voted no on these just because I know Donald Trump's not going to sign off on it. So why send something up there? And like, I also get that to a point. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to pass it by 2 votes, you know he's going to veto it.
Yeah.
why even try to, and that you're not going to have the votes to be able to override it. Like, why send it up there? So I get that piece as well. But like,
But
lives, lives are
yeah,
going to be traumatically impacted by this
man,
choice.
those
And if,
concepts of a plan, Trump, you need to roll them out.
and again, like, why not extend it
If you don't have
until
anything,
it, until we get your thing passed?
yeah, yeah, you can start the framework. And in all honesty, Manny, for his second term, if he wants something to be that legacy, like this is what I want to leave behind after my second term, why not be so adamant to get this done?
And I've said it before, the one thing that will remain remarkable about Donald Trump and looking at his presidency,
Hmm.
his, yeah, I feel pretty comfortable saying this. I'll give myself some space. His, of everything he's done,
Hmm.
executive orders to actual laws getting passed to just policy stuff, the biggest win of his political career, one of the biggest,
Yeah.
is clearing out the red tape and junk for
Yep.
them to develop the COVID vaccine.
Bruh. What was it? Operation Warp Speed?
Warp speed.
Bruh.
It is one of the
Bruh.
greatest feats.
Bruh. Let me tell you. I know we
Well,
talk junk about Trump a lot, y'all. But let me tell you, Operation Warp Speed, I can't take that from that man at all, bro.
the two pieces, and we said it earlier that we won't hold. We'll be honest about Trump. Is what he did with Warp Speed and what he did with criminal justice back in 2016
Yeah.
that really helped that piece. I can't take either of those
Yep.
from him.
I can't.
But
You about to fumble all of that.
right for
You
no
about to fumble it.
reason.
You got to fumble it. Because, bro,
He
if he was able to finally do something with the Affordable Care Act and put something in place better for the American people, screw. I mean, you all out of all the junk, all the crap, all the foolishness you had to put up with, you put those two things side by side.
no.
I got a hard time arguing. While you, I can't argue that you didn't do something, man. You didn't do something great.
So, did you see that video this past week of the high school football team? Um, the guy kicker goes up, just kicking the extra point to try to tie the game.
Hmm.
Well, he ends up missing. You know the video I'm talking about.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So for our viewers, he ends up missing the extra point. All goes bad. Um, Next play, so they have to turn. They turn it over to the other team. The other team is marching. It's like third down. There's no time left. Well, no, they still have to take the snap.
Yeah.
So take the snap. The quarterback goes to take the knee. One of the players on his team takes off his helmet, throws it up into the air, starts celebrating. They call a penalty. They go to fourth down. They now have to punt. Team, and the punt is horrible. So now they set the kicker back out to the field that missed the extra point, then kicks the field goal to win the national championship.
Bruh.
That is what Trump is
Hmm.
getting ready to do in terms
Yep.
of being the team that all you had to do was take a knee.
All you
Trump
had to
could
do.
have done nothing on healthcare. And
Nope.
because of Operation Warp Speed,
That
would
alone.
have been the one of the biggest health impacts
Yep.
in the world.
Yeah, bro. I was just about to say that. Not in the United States,
In
in
the world.
they were blowing that phone up trying to get what Trump was able to produce, bro. That you cannot take that accomplishment away from him,
And you about to fumble that view.
bro.
One of the crown jewels
Bro.
could have been Trump's healthcare policy.
Bro. It Trump really is pivot is positioning himself to make this a grand entrance and a grand exit, and
For
the
no
exit
reason.
for no reason.
To our listeners, we're just talking about this subject.
Yeah,
We're not talking about the other, but we're talking specifically on healthcare.
yeah.
And yeah.
So Congress, you better do something, and I hope that you do, because and Trump as well too. Yeah, Trump, I think you may need to soften your heart a little bit of how you feel, and maybe just give it some time. But the impact that's going to happen on a bunch of Americans is going to be a tragedy. And when you look at a time where things aren't, a lot of people don't have a lot of money in their pocket.
Yep.
Bro, I had a moment the other day where, I looked at my savings and I just had to say, Lord, thank you, because I realized, and this is not to boast, but I know there are so many people who aren't as fortunate as me. And I'm not saying that I'm balling like I'm not Jim Jones, but I'm definitely in a better position than I know that a lot of Americans are not in. Even down to these frigid temperatures that we experience,
Oh
and I'm
man.
I'm like, bro, there are people who aren't as fortunate to sleep in a warm bed as me. Like, affordability is a real thing, and if I already have to worry about feeding my family, having enough money to put gas in the car to carry my kids to school or to go work the job that's paying me $9 an hour. Now I got to worry about the health care that I have. And
Yep.
there's a lot of Americans who don't have the health care that they need. Now what is accessible to me now is costing me that I can't afford that. I can't feed
Right.
my family and afford health care. This is a major problem. So Congress, President Trump, I hope you guys can do something before these provisions end. I don't feel like you it don't feel like you're doing anything or enough, because when this hits in 2026, that's a terrible way for some families to have to start the new year off.
Yep.
So Congress,
Absolutely.
you're in a pickle, but America, we all may be in a pickle if nothing's not done. So
Yep.
that is my pickle of the week. As always, that brings us to our end of our episode, where we give you our spotlight or spotlights of the week. So my brother, what's your spotlight for the week?
Man, all eyes still on Ukraine. So
Oh boy.
there's been significant progress. Um, European with the European leaders. There we go. Had to get
Okay.
all the words. I had to
I
get all the
got you.
letters with the word. About getting a deal done that essentially almost amounts to a NATO-like protection of Ukraine, but not through full membership.
Okay.
So the U.S. is involved. Ukrainian leaders are involved. So they'll be working through that, and they're still going to be coordinating and ramping up through this week. So hopefully we'll see something like that. And then my second one. You might have seen an announcement, everybody, that Disney has worked out a deal
Okay.
with OpenAI
Mm.
for you to be able to make AI videos with Disney characters. First off, I just
Uh,
want Disney. First of all, I know why you did it. I think these are going to create some very magical moments for some kids.
mm-hmm.
But this is all going to also going to create some mess.
Mm-hmm.
And also, what I would like to say to all our listeners, y'all don't upload your face, your kid's face. Don't let their grandparents, don't upload your own pictures to that service, because I can almost guarantee that there is something in the terms and conditions where the old mouse house says, "Oh, thank you for your likeness and image that we can now use
Bruh.
for free forever."
Bruh.
Don't do it. Don't upload you and your kids' faces. Don't do it. Don't give it. Don't give them your data.
Bruh.
That's
You
your
gotta,
PSA,
gotta protect your neck.
bro. Protect that neck beat.
Okay.
All right.
Well, man,
Well,
I don't
y'all.
really have much of a spotlight, but I do want to say this as my spotlight. I know that the holiday season is approaching, and all I will say is that if you are fortunate and grateful to have your family circles intact, and you're able to experience joy in this holiday season, don't take it for granted. And while it is a great feeling to, have the matching pajamas, have the Christmas decorations, provide the gifts to your loved ones, uh, be mindful just for a second and just think of those who are homeless, that are helpless, that feel like they're not loved, that feel that there is no joy or nothing to be joyful of during this time. Um, just have them in your thoughts, because while we all are very blessed tremendously, let us not forget those who aren't in the same position as we are, and that while we are in that joy and experiencing that joyful moment, let's just pray that we send a little joy their way in some shape, form, or fashion, whether it be a meal, whether it be something to keep them warm for the night, a kind gesture from somebody, a stranger that they don't know, just something, because we all need a little joy. And as I always tell people, your one situation, one circumstance, one
Hmm.
scenario would be in the same position as those that are as less fortunate as you are. So during this holiday season, just keep that in mind and let that guide your hearts in the landscape that we live in, because I think if we thought a little more like that, regardless of what side of the aisle we are on, we would all probably have a little bit more of a kind spirited and heart to one another. So that's gonna be my spotlight, bro.
Damn, jeez.
Hey
That
man.
that really that really fucked up what I was getting ready to say next, man.
Hey man, it was on my heart, so I
But
had to
that's
say it,
but
bro.
that's real, man.
I had to
That
say it,
is
bro.
absolutely I co-sign on. Whoa, I was going to say something very pause-worthy. That was
Okay.
a very good statement. Geez, yes, yes,
Bro.
I
So
agree
yeah.
with everything you said.
Well, with that being said, y'all, we have reached the conclusion of our episode. We thank you for tuning in. We know this is not on our typical release day, but we are thankful that you'll tune in this week for this episode. And as we get acclimated to things, readjusting in both of our lives, we will get back to our normal routine and our normal schedule. So, if nothing else further, brother, any all hearts and minds clear? You good?
Congratulations, John Cena, on retirement.
Oh, I'm gonna save it for the next episode. I had something to ask you
Oh
about
man,
wrestling, and it was gonna actually before it was gonna be the start of our episode, but now I need to go find the video because I had some wrestling questions to ask you, bro. But I'm gonna
there we
save it for
go.
the next episode,
We'll
bro.
see y'all next week with the
Bro,
questions.
yes, bro. I'm so man, I forgot about that, bro, because I was really excited. I was like, I gotta ask Manny this on the podcast, but we'll save it for the next episode. But as always, if don't nobody love you, just know here at the podcast, the boys, we
We love
love
y'all.
you. We hope this episode finds you well, and if not, we hope that you are blessed with the endurance until you find said joy and peace in your life. So take care, world, and we'll see you at the next episode.